Hi there, this is going to be the video for the last entry on my blog, and today I'm going to be talking to my mum about her feelings towards Marguerite Patten whilst we attempt to make some cakes, or at least start to anyway. So whilst I measure out the butter, how about you tell me about your earliest memories of the Marguerite Patten and her book and her cookery?
Oh yeah, well, my mum used to use this book when I was little, and I can remember sort of sitting in the kitchen helping her make cakes, using this book in fact, which was already getting on a bit by the time I can remember it.
Yeah, and then you went on to uni, didn't you, and you took the book with you?
Yeah, my mum gave it to me to go to uni because she didn't feel that I'd be able to cook otherwise, I don't think.
Yeah, which is what you did for me when you bought me another copy of the book.
Yeah, I wouldn't let you
when
have
I
my
went
copy.
to uni. No, I had to have a new
new
modern version.
Was not modern particularly.
Modern in comparison to this. It has
was.
colour photographs. So. And then I was just going to ask you what you think makes Marguerite Patten so important to cookery and just the sort of social history of the cookery book.
I think it's things like that. At the beginning of the book there's an awful lot of how to set up your kitchen for the newly married woman. So there's sort of what each cooking term means. It's at the front there if you want to look.
Yeah.
Right at the front. And then here there's how to go from American to English, from cup to pounds. And of course this book is all in pounds and ounces because it's so
which is
old.
what I think to use now when I get a recipe from online that tells me to do it in grams. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, I always cook, because I've got a sort of science background, and when I was working in a lab everything was in millilitres.
And you were thinking, what would Marguerite Patten do?
So when I cook, I always cook in imperial measures. I don't.
And I think that's why, because I've always gone on and on in this blog about the minimum of time and expense, which is what I think is her ethos. I think what you're saying really sort of ties into that she's telling you what to do without you having to go to loads of lessons or to have someone actually teach you it. You can just do it within the book.
And of course as well, this edition is from the year I was born, and it's not long. There was still austerity, wasn't there?
There was, yeah, after the war.
After the war. And also then she also sort of, tells you what utensils you should have in your kitchen and what the essential larder should have in it.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, you mentioned how it was just after the war, and obviously that's a long time ago now for her. But do you think that she can last now? Do you think this book's still going to be used when I have children, say? Or do you think that in sort of the world coming into more digital, that Marguerite Patten's sort of going to fall by the wayside at all?
I don't think so. It's nice to have a book. I think, so I've tried cooking from an iPad, and you're afraid you're going to tip things on it, or if the internet goes down you can't get that recipe.
Yeah.
If you've got the book there and it's well thumbed and you've got your pieces of paper stuck in it, post-it notes nowadays, pieces of paper when we've got pieces.
Not all of these.
Bits of paper. Yeah. When you've got you've got it there, and it's just something that you can use forever.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that maybe things like this, we're making a cake now, and the recipe for a cake is never going to change. We're not going to start using fake egg again. That's not something that's going to happen. We're probably always going to be using eggs. But that I made those corned beef fritters earlier in the term, and they weren't very nice. We couldn't eat them because we're just not in a world anymore where you can use dripping in your cookery because nobody's used to it.
I mean, my mum still uses dripping.
Yeah.
But there's no way I stopped using lard and dripping.
Yeah, and
20 years ago.
I just think that some of the things she cooks, I mean, just here, ham rolls with peaches and sweet corn. You wouldn't think to cook that in a million years, would you?
I think it's the basic recipes in here that are the good ones.
Yeah, and the methodology really.
That's right. Yes, how to do it, and because you've got the reference at the front where it says to cream. Yeah. If you didn't know, if your mother hadn't shown you how to make cakes, how to cream, you could look it up and see.
Yeah. Okay, well, we will go back to making our cakes, so thank you for talking to me, Mum, and I hope you've enjoyed the blog, and I've really enjoyed doing it, so thank you, bye bye!